Hey everybody, it's Chris from Cali Raised, and today we're installing the dash accessory mount in the 2010 and newer Toyota 4Runner. This is a beautiful new product we just launched. It's very sleek, sits very low, and is very sturdy to hold your electronics and your accessories. Before we get into the installation, I want to show you a couple key features that separate this from the competition. First, this is a 6061 extruded piece of aluminum that is then machined and anodized afterwards. This anodize will not turn purple, it will not fade. You can see your clock really well with the cutout right here. And of course, it includes our cable routing. This cutout right here will fit both the Lightning and the USB-C and allow you to plug your accessories in without any cables going over your screen. We use the tack form mounting balls, phone mounts, GPS mounts, anything you can think of. This is a great product to organize your dash. Let's get this installation started. Included in your hardware kit are 4 1/4-inch washers, 4 1/4-inch bolts, 1 drill guide, 1 dash mount, and 2 accessory balls from tack form. Our first step is we need to put some painter's tape or something on this right here, because we're going to set our dash mount on here and we're going to mark some spots. With those in place, we're going to set our dash mount into position. We're going to get it centered. The clock cutouts make a really good reference point for centering. And then what we're going to do is grab a Sharpie or a pen, and we are going to mark the outside corners. With our corners marked, we are now going to put our drill guide in place. The long bar goes towards the back and it is bent a little bit, which matches the contour of your bezel here. And then what you want to do is line it up with the marks that you made for your dash mount. With everything lined up, I'm going to mark my holes. With all of this stuff prepared, we now need to remove our radio. We're going to go through the steps on how to get that done. The first step to removing our radio is to take these 2 trim pieces off on either side. They're held in with compression clips, so simply pull them away and remove them. There it goes. Next, we need to remove this center section, which also just pulls away. Be cautious, you do have some wires on the back side here. You need to unclip and also unclip right here. With this area clear, we now have access to our 4 radio bolts. They're a 10 millimeter. With these 4 bolts removed, now we simply give our radio a tug. It also has tension clips. Be careful not to pull it too far away, as there are wires that we need to disconnect. Pull it out and then disconnect all the plugs in the back. The good thing about these is every plug is unique, so you will not be able to plug them into the wrong spots. With our radio removed, we can now move to our workbench to install the dash mount. With our radio removed, we now need to remove our vents. We've already removed one for you, so we can show you the areas that you need to access to take this out. This is simply clipped into this position. There are 4 tabs, one here, one down here, one here, and one here. Those tabs click into these 4 little slots that are in those same positions. To remove them, you can use a flathead screwdriver or a pick, and you're simply going to take the tab and pull it away. We're going to go ahead and do it on this side so you can see it. There we go. And it comes right out. With our air vents removed, now we want to drill our 4 holes. These are going to be a 1/4-inch drill bit. I like to start with 1 and then put my drill guide in place to do the other 3. Taking my 1/4-inch drill bit, centering it on the hole, going slow, With that hole drilled, I'm going to put a bolt in place to kind of hold this and use my drill guide to make sure my holes end up in the correct locations. With my holes drilled, I can now remove my tape. First thing we're going to do is grab one of our 1/4-inch bolts and install a washer. With the washer installed, we're going to take our bolt and push it through the hole that we just drilled, and then we are going to thread it into the dash mount. With my bolt in a couple turns, I am now going to move to the other side and put my second bolt in. Then repeat this step for the remaining 2. You will notice when you're doing this that the washer is sitting on top of these plastic ribs. That's okay. These ribs are giving your dash mount some added support, and it's designed to sit right on top. With all of our bolts started, we're now going to go ahead and tighten them all down. I do want to point out that this is aluminum. Do not crank on these, you will strip them out. You're looking for about 40 foot-pounds of torque into this aluminum. With our dash mount all bolted in, we can now reconnect our vents, making sure you put them in the correct positions. The installation is much easier. They simply clip in. With this complete, we can now get it all in the truck. With our radio in place, we're now going to reconnect all of our wires in the same way that we took them out. With everything plugged back in, make sure no wires are blocking your vents, and then push your radio back into position. With one push, it is now back in, and we can put our bolts back in the bottom. Continuing to work backwards, we're now going to plug in our AC controls and push it back into position. Lastly, putting in our trim pieces. Now that our dash mount is installed, the last thing to do is put on these balls from Tackform. Slide the nut into the slot. Also note that the ball itself has an anti-rotation slot, so make sure that lines up. Once you got them in the spot you want, the beautiful thing about these Tackform balls is you tighten down this bolt, and now these will never spin on you. When you purchase your dash mount, you get the opportunity to do a bundle where you can add in the Tackform phone mount, the Tackform tablet mount, and the Tackform GoPro mount. We're going to throw our phone mount on here today. Let's get started. First thing we want to do is get everything out of the package. Then we're going to loosen this wing nut. It simply slides over the ball. And then we tighten it back down. With our arm attached on the ball, we're now going to repeat the step up top, loosen our wing nut, put our phone mount in, tighten it back down. For the phone mount, you want to make the spring-loaded part pointing away from you, and now you have a really sturdy mount for your phone. Same with your tablet or your GoPro. This completes our installation for today. Please check out caliraisedled.com for all your off-road accessories or technical support. Thank you.